Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. Yeah, we gave it a good shot that time. All right. So never let it be said that I don't whack the gong sufficiently frequently, because I'm doing it for all these videos, for all you folks who keep asking me to do it. Then we have to switch gongs, because I've got a couple dozen of them. And we can hear different types in manufacturing things and whatnot. So here we have it. Ready? Yeah, here we go. Next clump. This clump. Shostakovich 11 with, the Philadelphia Orchestra. Oh, and the Jazz Suite No. 1 and the Waltz from No. 2 and the Tahiti Trot with Maris Janssens, which we talked about because we did the big box of his complete Shostakovich cycle, but this was a singleton. And these Philadelphia ones were some of the best. We did 8 and 11 with Philadelphia. They're 10 and 11. I don't remember, but they're terrific. Shostakovich, Piano Concerto No. 1 with Shostakovich piano. Oh, these are his earlier Melodia ones from 1956 and 1959, and the Concertino for two pianos with Shostakovich and his son. And let's see, the Piano Trio No. 2 with Oistrakh and Milos Sadlo. I've seen from 1947 when it was brand new. Extraordinary performances. The piano concertos here are slightly better than his later remakes with André Cluytans and on EMI, and so I have those original ones, but the sound sucks. All right, Shostakovich 5th and 9th, New York Phil Bernstein. That incredibly exciting early 5th with the unbelievably quick tempo for the finale that Shostakovich himself theoretically endorsed, even though we're never quite sure of anything he endorsed. And a really great recording of the 9th, much, much, much better than his Vienna remake, which was, sort of dryly recorded and not as much fun. And great Shostakovich, classic stuff. Number 5, oh yes, with Maxim. This was a big deal when it came out because the reason it was a big deal is because he was the first guy to do in the West, where we didn't know these things, to do the finale with the really slow ending, which was actually what Shostakovich wrote, to make it grind and sound as desperate and not happy as we later found out it was supposed to be. It's a wonderful performance of the Fifth Symphony with the USSR Symphony Orchestra. You also get the film suite from Michurin and the Age of Gold Polka. Just really important and wonderful stuff. So it seems to have vanished, this performance. It was available, I think it was originally on EMI with their license from Melodia, and then it moved to RCA when RCA took over the license from Melodia. You never knew with Melodia and who was getting what, so I hung on to that. Then we've got another of the Previn, the Previn Shostakovich 5th, which we already talked about, with the LSO, the better of his two performances. But this is a different series, a different RCA series. You see, this is the 94-bit, 96 kilohertz sound dimension. Oh, yes, reissue. With the suite from Hamlet with José Cerebrière, the Belgian Radio Symphony, which is nice to have. So I got it because of the suite from Hamlet, I think. Shostakovich 9, 5, and 9 with Tamerkanov for the St. Petersburg Philharmonic. Very good traditional Russian-style performances of these symphonies. I got these and I keep these because I really like to hear the new St. Petersburg Philharmonic in its post-Leningrad incarnation. So yeah, that's definitely worth hanging on to. And then, thank God we finally got the Metropolis box, because here we have his Shostakovich 10th, which is incredible. The other performance with the second movement that goes at the tempo that Shostakovich and Moise Weinberg played it at on the piano, along with Anshul. It's a sensational Shostakovich 10th, just a screaming, exciting, wild performance. Just a really wonderful ride that's in the Metropolis box now. And the 9th with Ephraim Kurtz. So that's great to have too. These are also mono. It seems like the great Shostakovich 10s were all in mono. Oh, well, that's all right. Number 12. Oh, this one's fun. This is Urania, which is meaningless. Who knows where they stole it from? I have no idea. But you've got their stereo recordings and the world premiere performance of the composer attending of the 12th Symphony, theoretically. You never know if they're right. But it's Stravinsky and the Leningrad Philharmonic, and this is an unbelievably insane performance of the terrible 12th Symphony, the one that nobody likes, but that's really kind of amazing in this performance. It really is. And you get Dawn on the Moskva River and the Ruslan and Ludmila Overture at 4 minutes and 49 seconds, probably the fastest ever. And it is thrilling to hear the orchestra play that stuff when they were on top form as they are on that thing. Shostakovich 8, St. Louis and Slatkin. He did the 4th, he did the 8th, he did a couple others too, I think he did the 5th somewhere. But this is a wonderful 8th, absolutely first rate. These St. Louis recordings with Slatkin at this period were as good as anything out there, and no one paid any attention to them. Fortunately, RCA was dumb enough to let him make them. I don't know if they could sell any, but they did it. They did it, and thank God they did. Now what we need is a Slatkin box. I mean, he's getting up there in years, and he's done unbelievable work, and he's no longer recording for that label, and they should gather his entire legacy and issue it, because it is first rate, generally. Terrific. Oh, here's that 8th with Leningrad and Stravinsky, the famous one. It's on 5 billion labels, originally on Philips. Was how we saw it pitched half a tone sharp. I think it was in C sharp minor instead of C minor. Sounded just as good that way to me. A little quicker, maybe. This is Russian All-Star Orchestra label. Who knows what that was? Another one of these, Melodia knockoffs, people giving someone a few bucks and getting tapes or just stealing the stuff in the first place. This is from 1983 or 63. This is 83. You never recorded live. You never know. You never really know. This is the same one, I think, as the one that was on Philips, and it was really quite wonderful, and it was in stereo, and it sounded fine. So there you go. Shostakovich 5, Piano Concerto No. 2, with Andrew Litton conducting and playing the piano. Another wonderful conductor in Russian music. Litton was great in this stuff, and his Shostakovich performances for Delos, which is what this was at the time, are first class. Absolutely first class. Shostakovich, Violin Concerto No. 1, Prokofiev, Violin Concerto No. 1, Maxim Vengerov, LSO and Rostropovich. Fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. On Teldec. I stick it down there because there's a Vengerov box upstairs and I have it in the box, which is more convenient. When the big boxes came out, I often took the singletons and they made it to the overflow room. I didn't want to get rid of them, because they had like original notes and recording information and stuff that I thought I might need some century. All right, Symphony No. 14 with the Tapiola Sinfonietta on Ondine. Joseph Swenson, conductor, Margarita Havarinen, soprano, and Petteri Saloma, bass. This is very good. Really good, exciting performance, and people don't really know it. You also have this Adagio and Allegretto for string orchestra, which is like a standalone little thingy. So that was good to have. Shostakovich 9 and 14. Here we go again. This is like the recorded live, one of the premier performances of the 14th, because it's with Rudolf Barshai and the Moscow Chamber Orchestra with Galina Vishnevskaya and Mark Reshetin, bass, and the Symphony No. 9 is conducted by David Oistrakh with the USSR Symphony Orchestra. Now this one is on Russian disc, which also no longer exists. It's amazing, isn't it? You've got Russian disc, Russian Revelation, Russian All-Star Orchestra, Russian icons, Russian this, Russian that, and it was all somehow filched from Melodia at some point during the chaos years after the fall of the USSR. And, well, you had to get them while you could, so I did. Here's Russian Revelation, Symphony No. 14, Galina Vishnevskaya, Mark Reshetin, Rostropovich conducting this time from 1973. This, I think, is the one that's in the Rostropovich Shostakovich symphony cycle. I think, possibly. I'd have to go back and check, and you never could tell whether the dates on these things were accurate anyway. And the 7 Romances on Poems by Alexander Blok, which is dedicated to Vishnevskaya, premiere performance recording from 1967 with Vishnevskaya, David Oistrakh, Rostropovich, and Moisey Weinberg on the piano. How's that for a lineup? Oh, baby. And finally, another 14th. I like this one too. This is very good with I Musici de Montreal, Yuli Turovsky conducting with Elizabeth Hollick and Nikita Storyev bass at number 14. Such a grim piece, and it's been recorded so many times, including lots of singleton performances. 11 poems about death. What a great way to conclude this particular chat. Yes, with 11 poems about death. Keep on listening. Have a great time. Thank you for joining me. We've got a little bit more Shostakovich to go, and then we move on. Take care.